Good evening. How is everybody doing? Uh, I'll tell you what, before we get started here, guys, what a difference it makes, even if it's cooler when the sun's out. It's like night and day. For those of you that have a lot of sunshine all the time, you don't realize how fortunate you are. But being up here in the Northeast and dealing with, you know, all the time. Well, hold on one second. I just want to make sure I killed the volume on this, and I did not. Look at that. See? All right. Um, when we have so many overcast days, and then you get a peek of the sun, it's like, it's awesome. So, too funny. So, anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your week has gone well, and here we are. So, good news. We'll get into that in a second. Let's do our normal stuff here in the beginning. If we have any interruptions in the stream to start with, just so you guys know, I will get right back online. You may not get notification of it because YouTube does like to play that game as well. And so just be aware that they may do that. You may not get notification, but I will get right back on if there's any interruption in the stream. Okay. Also, what? Yes, I see you. You're fine. Go lay down now. Yes. Miss Pandora is over here saying hello. Also, I want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. So I would ask you to please be kind, please be nice. No racism, no nastiness. Let's just have a good conversation. Everybody get along well, which would be great. And, we'll go from there. If you can't abide by those simple rules, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue will boot you out of here because we're just not going to tolerate it. So just putting that out there ahead of time. All right. So, first of all, the good news: the pipeline, the Colonial Pipeline, is back online. They said it this afternoon. It went back online. It should take several days. They said they may have to stop and start it a couple times with getting it started back up. But hopefully by midpoint of next week, everything will be back to normal. They'll get enough gas to people. I know certain places were in a lot worse shape than others. Now, I'm going to tell you where I'm at. My gas prices here literally only changed 6 cents a gallon, and we were not out of gas. So, also a small town, which makes a difference as well. But I know a lot of places were having issues where they were jacking up gas prices. Saw one place was charging almost $7 a gallon with price gouging, which I'm hoping they get in trouble for that because that's not right. But we'll see what happens. You know how that kind of thing goes. So, but they did get that restarted and they're doing it again. Now, of course, we got to blame the Russians, which is a standard procedure. But who knows? I mean, could it have been the Russians? Sure, it could have been. Could it have been the company itself to drive up prices? You never know. I mean, there's going to be so many speculations of what, if, how, who, and where, all this type of thing. But there is. How did we go? Okay, and this is one of the things that I really so we're going to get into a lot of different things here talking about this. Okay, this is part of it's almost like it's part of this big plan to continue to screw America, to just drive us to the point of being crazy. With this type of stuff. We went from we're oil independent, where we're an exporter of oil, and now and here's the funny part, which I think the funny part that I think is just amazing is Biden on his platform for his election basically said he was going to screw the coal or the oil companies. He was going to screw the coal companies. So, of course, places like Pennsylvania, of course, voted for him, right? Yeah, okay. Because of that reason. But unbelievable, just unbelievable that, these things continue to go on. But I mean, he basically said what he was going to do. And one of the first things he did, obviously, as we all know, he shut down that pipeline up from Canada, costing a tremendous amount of jobs. And, So how do we have to transport that oil now? And of course, it has to be transported by train and then trucks, which of course is so much more environmentally safe for the planet than a pipeline, right? Warren Buffett's happy though, right? Of course, who is the biggest benefactor of that situation? Warren Buffett. I mean, you can never have too many billions in your pocket, So, well, that part of it just drives me crazy. But so I got to show you this because this is very, very cool. So I just got this from She Walks Alone. She said she saw this and she thought it was awesome. So I'm going to read it for you first, and then I'm going to show you it. It says, I asked Odin for a Valkyrie. He sent me my daughter. And here's the t-shirt. So I'll just pull that up like that. And I thought that is absolutely awesome. So She Walks Alone. Thank you very much. I definitely will be wearing that t-shirt. And my daughter is definitely my Valkyrie. I mean, she is awesome. So thank you. That is very, very thoughtful of you. Very appreciative of that. So thank you very much. That's very cool. So when I read that, I was like, I mean, it like touched my heart. I'll be honest, because it's like you guys all know how I feel about my children, you know. And when you have, as a father, when you have a daughter, that bond is different, and it's a good bond. So, but anyway, so it you look at everything that's gone on since Biden has taken over, and it's just like a spiral down a toilet. It is amazing to me. Uh, my daughter is a just finished up her sophomore year of college, so she has a couple more years, 2 to 3 more years of college to go, depending. She is, and just so anybody that doesn't know, she's majoring in psychology and doing she's doing a double major. So her second major is going to be in criminal justice. So what she wants to do, as of right now, still, she wants to be a profiler for the FBI, which I think is unbelievably cool. Very, very cool. So to be able to figure out the way that people's minds work and what they think and why they do what they do. She's always loved all those type of shows and that type of stuff. So she finds that fascinating. So in a minor and axe throwing, yeah, that's what's kind of cool too with the whole Viking theme thing. She can definitely throw an axe. So, but no, she's a very, very smart young lady. And her and I have talked a ton. And and one of the things and I just because I'm just talk about her for a second here. One of the things that I sat down with her, I never wanted to put pressure on my daughter, ever. So the only thing that I did, as I said, if you want to get a good career, if you want to do something, make sure you take care of your grades, and if you want to go to college, obviously not everybody is geared towards college. I said, you have to make sure you maintain the good grades so you can get the scholarships. And she did. She's gotten the scholarships. And, we talk all the time. And so I had said to her recently, I said, listen, whatever you do, whatever decisions you make, I'm proud of you. And I says, I may not always agree with the decisions that you make because of, I have this weird thing called life experience, and I'm a lot older. So, I've been there, done that. But, they have to learn, they have to follow their own path. And all we can do as parents, realistically, once they leave the house and they go on about their lives, be there for support, be there to help. And so, it's weird. The dynamics of the relationship changes, like now she's living with her boyfriend, and so, and I like the kid. So first, let me put that out there. I like the kid. He went on vacation with us in January. He's a nice young man. So really, really fortunate that way. But yeah, she just, I'm proud of both of my kids. Eddie is really getting very, very good on the guitar. And so, which is kind of cool too. He's doing really great with that. And his kid's hair is so long now. I mean, I'm talking, his hair is longer than I ever had my hair. And I had long hair back in the 80s. But yeah, he is, that's his thing. And he loves playing the guitar, and that's cool. And he's really, really good at it. And he's getting better all the time because that's what he does. So, my email is preppernurse1@yahoo.com. Okay. So, yep, JJ just put it up for the person that was asking about my email. So, yeah. So, anyway, we got this situation here in this country where it's almost like it's an orchestrated attack on us, the American people, especially the hardworking people that are. Yeah, another Eddie Van Halen. Yeah, yeah, he's. You know what? He found his passion, and he is excelling at it, and he plays all the time, and that's his gig. And you never know. I mean, that would be pretty wild to see one day. My son either playing in a band or being one of those people that does that acoustic stuff. So. But whatever your children's path is, you can't pick for them what you want them to do. They have to follow their own heart and their own thing, and and that's a cool thing. I had a cousin who completed 4 years to be a lawyer, then changed her mind when having to and then having to pay back the loans to the government. It happens. You know what? Sometimes you get into something and you find out, down the road that that's not for you. I guess I'm going to tell you what, guys. And again, I'll use myself as an example. I went in the military and I was a 51 Romeo, which is an interior electrician. Okay. I was part of a combat engineer unit. We were an attachment. I actually was part of the 20th Engineer Brigade, but we were an engineer attachment with them. And, so we got to play with C4 and do all that type of stuff too. So, you were combat trained, but I was an interior electrician in the military. I got out of the military. I was working for a company in Rochester, New York, and I actually helped put in the security system at the George Eastman House. So anybody who've heard of Kodak, George Eastman was the head of Kodak, and they have a house on East Avenue that he actually lived in. It's beautiful. You ever get a chance to go? They do tours and stuff. Very, very cool. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I got done with that job, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be an electrician. And I had so many people tell me, are you out of your mind? You know how much money you can make, and blah 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 blah. And at the time, I was in my 20s, and I said, if I'm going to do something for the next 40 years, I got to do something that I like, and I don't like this. So I walked away from that. Okay, completely walked away. Several years later, then I got into nursing, and then that was where I found my passion. And so if you had told me coming out of high school, going into the Army at 19 years of age, that I would have ended up becoming a nurse, I would have said you were out of your mind. I would have been like, no way. But, you just, not everybody knows exactly what they're going to do at 18, 19, and 20 years old. You don't. You got to find yourself. You got to find that passion. And if you find it and you can do that and make a decent living off of it, great. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, so we're getting completely off of everything. But so anyway, that's and so all these kids, we just have to, like I said, we got to be there to support them. We just got to be there to support them. No, I know. Now hold on a second. Nurses make good money. Absolutely, absolutely, nurses make good money. But I started out as a CNA, and I was a CNA for 5 years. And I'm going to tell you right now, CNAs don't make good money. CNAs don't make good money. And that's when I went back to school at 29 and got my nursing degree, because I was like, if I'm going to stay in this field, I'm going to go back and I'm going to, get to where I can make some decent money. And that's what I ended up doing. But yeah, it's like, hello there, little princess. Oh, well, thank you. That was very nice. Yes. You gonna say hello to everybody? Huh? Okay. Yeah, okay. You know what? I am doing my live stream, so you have to go. She's just a big glutinous thing, is what she is. But anyway, so let's get back into talking about it. It feels like there's an orchestrated everything. Okay, so our infrastructure in this country is atrocious. Hey, get down. Good boy, good girl. Our infrastructure is absolutely atrocious. Needs to be addressed. Hey, Freddie left you. Just had a school teacher try to shame me and calling me a hoarder because I bought some extra jugs of gasoline. Guess I have hit the big time. Okay, you know what? Let's address that. And I actually had somebody say something to me. Well, thank you very much for the donation, and and thank you for sharing that information. Have heard the same thing in a few comments. Okay, and because mom had gone out and bought more gas cans, and we put more gas in our reserve. All right, stop, everybody, stop. Go lay down. That's it. Go lay down. You're fine. You were just outside, so I know you don't have to go to the toilet. Now go. Hey. So people were trying to say to me too, oh well, you're being selfish because you're getting more gas when other people may need it to go to work. Okay, well here's the thing, folks, okay? Which that I could care less what anybody says when it comes to that type of stuff, because if I can afford to do it and I'm able to do it, I'm going to do it. It's just like when I go to the store and I'm trying to find canning jars, and if there's 6 cases of canning jars, I'm going to take all 6 cases if it's available, because it's so unavailable most of the time. So if you're able to get out there and have that money to be able to help yourself and help your family, help your group of people, if there was a prolonged shutdown in a prolonged period of time where there would be no gasoline, is it my fault that you are unprepared and didn't plan ahead to prepare for those type of stuffs? Especially when I came on here and said, hey, this pipeline shut down, there's probably going to be gas shortages. Go out there and prepare and be ready for it. So it's my fault, and I'm selfish because I prepared for it and you didn't. Does that make any kind of sense whatsoever? It's just like with the canning jars, okay? You see the kind of garden that I'm putting in this year. We have stuff that's going in the greenhouse. We have stuff that's going to be outside. I plan on doing a lot of canning this year, a lot of canning. Okay. I need more canning jars to do that. So if I go to Walmart, and every time I go to Walmart, I check to see if they have any canning stuff. And if they do, and if they have, like I said, if they have like 6 cases of canning jars, I'm going to take 6 cases of canning jars. That's just the way it is. Because it's there, it's available, and I just happen to be there, then great. People always want to try to make something of everything, okay? But because I'm going to be prepared and I'm going to be ready if we have food shortages in this country. We already see what the prices of food have done just this year. You've already seen what's going on there. And I want you to think about this too, okay? Now, this pipeline is reopened, but look how fragile the system is with this event that just happened. If that doesn't give you any kind of a wake-up call with everything else that has gone on, I don't know what will. I really don't know what will. Hey, Freddie left you. Tons of canning jars at Runnings in Syracuse. Are they ball canning jars though? Freddie left you. That would be a question. Are they ball canning jars? I only use ball canning jars when it comes to canning because they're the best. That's just being honest. So, but it shows how fragile things be. And you got to remember too, how does most of the things in this country get transported still to this day? It gets transported by truck. So when you have produce from California being shipped to the East Coast, it's being shipped by truck most of the time. And so, that happens constantly. And if we ever have a really serious issue like nationwide of gas shortages, those trucks aren't going to be moving, which would directly affect how much food is where in this country. And so, those are things that you really, really need to. Oh, Freddie left you, said, yep, ball. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm not near Syracuse, so that's like 3. Well, it's more than that, actually. 3.5, 4 hours away from me. So it's a drive to go to Syracuse for canning jars. But I just stored 13 cases of ball half-gallon jars in the last week. EV3 Dale said. You know what the thing is, though? Now, I know that you can get them online, and this is what I would encourage people, because the one thing that people continue to say they have a problem trying to find is lids. Getting all the canning jars is great, it is good to have the canning jars, but you also need lids as well, because once you've used that jar, you've used that lid that's on that jar. You're reusing lids, other than if you have the rubber seal ones. That's the only way that you can really reuse them and have them really be working. So, you need to have replacement lids. And last year, you never found one lid at Walmart that you could just buy the lids last year. Now, I know you can still do it online, and I would absolutely encourage people to do that. Ed, that pipeline provides natural gas that fuels the grid up there. What could be next? Oh, you're talking about the whole situation in Michigan? Yeah, that pipeline up, that number 5 pipeline, uh, is providing natural gas for Michigan. So yeah, and it's like the whole game of lids are on back order. Took mine 2 months. Happy Homesteader just said that. Okay. Well, thank you for that information. But again, if you don't need them right now, if it's on back order, that's good. Get it. Put that order in. Make sure you can get it, because that's really, really important. All right. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw this or not. Real quick, we're already at 1,000 people in the chat. We got 343 on the thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do that, please, to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel. And Julie Cleary said, Ed Embridge said that the number 5 is the number 5 line, and they will not shut down. They said they won't. And I heard them say that as well. I heard them say that. And then she was, Whitmore is threatening to go after their profits if they don't shut down, which is just like, that's another whole can of worms to open up. But yeah, it's absolutely nuts, But anyway, yeah, it's just that whole situation up there with that is just insanity. But again, also, third reason, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So I would ask you for a thumbs up for that reason as well. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time. So this I just saw. Ohio. Did you see this, guys, in Ohio? You just can't keep making this stuff up. They're doing a lottery in Ohio for college students. If they get the vax, right, they're offering a 4-year free ride, 4-year degree for one student. Plus, they're also, for the average person, if you've had the vax, you can be in this lottery as well to win $1 million. Well, now here's the thing. If this thing is so wonderful and it is so great, why are they continuously trying to bribe people or manipulate people or trick people or whatever the case may be to continue to try to get this? Why are they continuing to do that? Is it the fact that a lot of people are saying, no, thank you, because that's our right as human beings and it's our body and we can do what we want, So Cuomo, our piece of crap governor here in New York, has just put it in the mandation that SUNY schools, so when I say SUNY schools, like Monroe Community College in Rochester is a SUNY school. Geneseo Community College is a SUNY school in Geneseo. So it's like it's one of those schools where basically everybody can get into those colleges. So you can go to that college. Like if I decided, okay, now, which is not going to happen, but let's say I decided I'm going to go back to college. I'm not going to probably get into one of these prestigious colleges unless I have like a lot of money, which I don't. So I would go to a community college. Well, what they're doing now is they're also making it mandatory that all SUNY college students also have to have the vax, which is 100% wrong. And there's got to be something that's going to be done about this, because I think it's a horrible thing that they are dictating the health of our children by something that they really, in my opinion, especially the young, don't need to have it if they're healthy. That's just my opinion. And I'm not, that's not from a medical standpoint, but when I was talking to the young man at Wegmans, maybe a week, 10 days ago, and I had this conversation with him, and I talked with him about it. And he was 25 years old, healthy. He wasn't overweight. And I asked him, I go, why would you get it? You know, if because if you catch it at his age, he's got a 99.9% chance of surviving. And he's like, well, I did it because I didn't want to catch it and then bring it home to my parents. That was his logic, because that's what they're being told. That's part of the whole propaganda ploy to manipulate these young folks into doing it. So I don't know. Like I said, it is amazing to me the extent of things that are being pushed and why, and the excuses that are being used. That is just amazing to me, and that's pretty much what I'm going to say about that. Yes, and I saw that too. That magnets are sticking to people who have had that. What is that all? Well, first of all, when you're talking about putting heavy metals into your body, and your body does not process heavy metals, come on. So, not a good thing. Not a good thing. But again, individual choice. You may do what you wish to do. I'm not going to tell you should or should not. You have to make your own individual choices for yourselves. And again, I just I don't like, that would be very concerning to me, that you would be able to put a magnet on your arm and it would stick after getting that. That would be very concerning, along with a laundry list of other things that are concerning. But that's just my take on it. It's just my take on it. But anyway, so craziness. So let's talk about really quickly too. Let's talk about this situation over in the Middle East, which is going on right now. They have been at odds with each other forever and a day. Forever and a day. And a new policy came out in Israel. They were not happy about it. And, it's disputed territory, which is always the case over there. Everything is disputed over there. And, there's always going to be fighting. There's always going to be death. And who was I talking to? Somebody was saying today that in Israel, they have underground play areas for the kids. So the kids can go underground to play so they can be safe, because of the rocket attacks that come in all the time. It's insanity. Living like that under constant threat. You got to understand one thing. I mean, it's like, either, and it's not even a matter if you like or don't like. It really isn't a matter of that. But in a lot of cases, it doesn't matter if you like Jewish people or dislike Jewish people, okay? To live in an area where everybody around you, surrounding countries, basically hate you and they want to see your destruction, that is not a good way to be living. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think it's, it's a scary situation over there. And, everybody over there, when they turn 18, they all do time in the military. And then all of them are on inactive reserves. I don't even know till what age. I can't remember till what age, but, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward with that whole situation. But I'm hoping that doesn't balloon into something bigger, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's the Israelis are no joke. They're not anybody you want to play with. They're not anybody that you want to fight. They will kick some butt. I mean, you look at what they did in the last major war over there in 1967. I mean, they kicked butt and took names, and they were fighting 2 or 3 different countries at the same time. So yeah, they're not the ones that you want to really screw around with. And if you want to go biblically with it as well, they're God's chosen people. So there you go. So there's something else to put into perspective. So, but it's interesting. It is interesting. Gas is going up now. Wait until the summer's blend kicks in. Well, you got to remember too, once we get Memorial Day weekend, that's generally the kickoff to the big travel season. And you're going to see prices continue to go up gas wise. You're going to see prices continue to go up. So it is amazing to me what is going on, and the people are okay with it. That's what, What amazes me more than anything else, with everything that is being pushed on us, that is being forced on us, that this manipulation continuously, and that people just go, yeah, okay, that's fine, and they're not pushing back. That's what probably amazes me more than anything else, with everything. So it's just, but anyway. Gray Man Prepping says, I expect at least $5 a gallon. I would hope not, but would that shock me? No, it wouldn't shock me, because what'll end up, see, what you got to understand too, with when you have things going on in the Middle East, and when we were importing a lot of oil from the Middle East, and see, we got to remember too, and I is, hate them or love them, okay, Trump made us oil independent. Okay, Biden is obviously trying to backtrack on that and make us dependent on foreign oil again, which is just wonderful, right? But anyway, Trump made us oil independent. You can, like I said, love him or hate him, that's a fact, okay? And, like, okay, so I'll put this right out here right away. I am not for fracking. I'm not a fan of fracking. I think it does bad things, and it can cause a lot of problems. That's just my take on it, okay? So, but fracking is, they're able to do it, and so they're doing it, and they're getting, oil that way. But it's, yeah, I know, yeah, gas is already about $4 a gallon in California already. No, I know, when I was out there a couple of years ago, when we did that motorcycle tour, I was amazed at the prices of I don't know how anybody can survive in California. Well, that's why you're having a mass exodus out of California. To be honest with you, California, for the first time, in since they started doing the numbers, their population went down because so many people are getting out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Wolfgang just made a good point. He says, as a prepper, just be ready. And I'm going to tell you what, and I'll take that one further. Be ready, and don't let anybody shame you, or try to, say you're being greedy because, or call you a hoarder or whatever, whatever titles they want to put on stuff, because you're ready and you're prepared for whatever's going to happen. I'm going to tell you, if you want to have 200, 500 gallons of gas on hand, that's your business. That's not anybody else's business. If you can afford to do it, do it. Because I'm telling you, right, and I've said this so many times, and I'm going to say it again. When SHTF happens, and it's not like we're going to get a memo. It's not going to be like, okay, on June 17th, this major event is going to happen, which is going to change everything dramatically in this country. So be ready for that. There's no memo coming out for that. So when an SHTF event, in a worst case type of scenario event, happens, it's going to happen like that. And that's just my opinion. I think that's exactly how it's going to go. Okay. And that could be a grid down situation, folks. We better be prepared for those type of situations. So when that time comes, you are going to have what you have, and that's it. You're going to have what you have, and that's it. And people need to really think about that. So if you want to try to, well, like for me, I could care less. You know what I mean? You want to call me greedy or a hoarder, or, I'm taking it away from somebody else that needs it more. Hey, you know what? They can go out there and buy it just like I did. Okay. That's their choice, because they choose not to. That's on them. So, no, I'm still here. I don't know. Somebody's saying lagging, but are you guys still getting me? Maybe some of you are, some of you are not. If you're getting lagging problems, guys, log out and log back in. Yeah. So most of the people, yeah, some people are fine, some are not. So. Terrence Parker Jr. said, I like it when you remind us of that. Yeah, because when the time comes, you're going to have what you have. So if you, because you're just so concerned about what other people think about what you're doing, don't go out and get that extra 20 gallons of gas when you could afford to do it. Think about how much in a hole that puts you in a situation when the time comes, when you could have gone out and had that extra 20 gallons of gas, which would have made a huge difference in your own survival, right? It's not about what other people think. Prepping is not about, caring realistically if somebody thinks anything about you. It's not about that. What are your intentions when SHTF happens? That's another thing, okay? What are your intentions? Do you plan on keeping everything that you have for yourself, and anybody that tries to come and ask for help or whatever, and you're just going to shoot everybody? That happens. People will act like that. There will be people that do that. Absolutely, there will be. But if your intention is to try to help people, try to educate people, even in a post event, you know, people better be listening. People better be ready. They better wake up, because especially in that type of environment, it's going to be a whole different world. It isn't going to be like it is now. People are not going to be passing each other on the streets going, "Hey, how are you today?" Okay, unless they know each other. And there's going to be stranger danger, big time stranger danger. So anybody that you don't know, that's something to think about as well. That's another thing people need to think about. You're going to be very, very wary of strangers. So, again, that's absolutely something. Yeah, Wolfang says no gas near food. Well, again, it's where you decide to store it. How should you be storing gas? Gas should be stored separately, in a shed or a building, away from everything else, just in case something happens, right? That's the reality. Or, well, that's how it should be. But the reality is that's not always the case. If you don't have a small outbuilding that you can have just for that and keep it secure and keep it safe, you put it where you have to put it. So that's what a lot of us do. I mean, mine is in my shop, and that's where I keep my gas. So, and I have other stuff in the shop besides the gas. So, but again, everybody's got to do what's going to be best for them. So, real quick, I want to talk about my website, preppernurse1.com. We have the Prepper Nurse One community on my website, which is a great resource to connect with like-minded people. So if you go to my website, preppernurse1.com, you'll see the Prepper Nurse One community. Click on it. You do have to register, which is totally free. No credit card information is asked, but it is private, so that's why you have to register. And you can go in there, read the message boards, check out what other people are doing, and do that, and take advantage of that for sure. Okay. Also, we have the Forefathers, which is the CBD and hemp store. So if you go to my website, preppernurse1.com, you will see their logo. If you click on that, it will take you to their website. And if you do decide to make a CBD or a hemp purchase, you can save yourself 15% when you check out by using the discount code PrepperNurse1. Obviously, it's the number one. So definitely take advantage of that as well. All right. Also, on my website, preppernurse1.com, we have the Legacy freeze-dried food as well. So you go there, you click on store, it drops down, you'll see Legacy. You click on that, it will take you to what we have there on the website. Definitely take advantage of that. Long-term food storage is a great thing to have that you should have in your preps with everything else. So that should definitely be part of your preps. It just changes up the texture of the food you're eating, and it's a really good thing to have. 25-year shelf life, GMO free, gluten options available, largest portion size of any of the other food, freeze-dried food companies. It's made in the U.S. It's vegan. There are meat options available as well. So definitely take advantage of those things. All right. So that's the business part of it. I just like to let people know, because a lot of times I'll forget to talk about it, and then people don't know. But that is there. So definitely take advantage of that. Okay. So, but anyway, so let's get back on what we're talking about. Being as prepared as you can be is a good thing. I want you to think about this. Dealing with sickness, dealing with disease in a post event is going to be much, much different than it is now. Much, much different. If we didn't have modern medicine, I would have been dead probably at 4 years old. I ended up having, my meningitis at 4, and that almost killed me. I was running like 104 or something like that temperature. They even brought the priest in and gave me last rites. That's how bad it was when I was 4. I almost died. I had my appendicitis at 9. That one almost killed me. It's not like today, okay? We're talking 1974, folks. So I was in the hospital for 9 days back then with my appendicitis. So it's a whole different animal as far as that goes. So, and if those two things hadn't killed me then, the cancer that I had at 50 would have. So, I'm very, very fortunate. Modern medicine is a phenomenally awesome thing. It's extending our lives and giving us a chance to live. In a post event, that's not going to be there. So I want you to think about this. Only cat sighting. Hold on. Only one I got in here right now is Mr. Max, who is sleeping right there. So, but again, it's like if you are receiving cancer treatment, if you were receiving dialysis, if you were receiving any kind of treatment medically that is keeping you alive in a post event, it's not going to. Type 1 diabetics that need that insulin to survive are not going to be here in a post event. Anybody on a ventilator is not going to be here in a post event. That is the sad reality. Anybody that's compromised in any way, unless they have somebody to take care of them. And again, somebody had made a great point at one point. At some point, your supplies are going to run out. So if you have somebody that needs medical treatment of any kind in a post event, you may extend their life for a period of time, but long term, they're not going to make it. That's a sad reality that people really need to think about. They need to wrap their head around. And if you are one of those people that have medical issues, you need to try to plan accordingly for that. Everybody needs to prep according to their own circumstances. I'm very, very fortunate. I've been pretty healthy my whole life. I really have. Other than those two things when I was younger, and so from 9 to 50, I didn't go to the hospital at all. Never was in the hospital for that entire length of time. And then I went and dealt with my cancer and got that taken care of. And at how long can hospital generators run for? Generally, Bryce, good question. Generally, they have enough emergency power for 3 days. That is generally it, 3 days. And then what would happen is right away, if they knew it was going to be a much longer event, they could shut down certain parts of the hospital, try to preserve power, to try to maybe extend that out a few extra days. But that'd be about it. That would be about it. And so that's something to think about as well. So, and I want you to think about this too. In a post event, those hospitals are going to be jammed. They're going to be jammed full of people. So unless you have a major medical emergency, excuse me, you better try to take care of it at home. That would be my advice to people. But again, plan accordingly. My daughter's boyfriend is a diabetic, insulin dependent diabetic, but he can manage it. He can live without the insulin, but he would have to exercise like crazy, number one. He would really have to watch his food intake. So we've already had that conversation, believe it or not. Well, I hope you would believe it because I'm a prepper. So, because that's one of the things we've definitely talked about. So those are things that you better plan for. All right. If you are on life-saving medication, if you need certain medication, high blood pressure medication, all those type of things, you better be planning accordingly. That's what I would encourage you to do. So, insulin doesn't have an indefinite shelf life. It doesn't. It's gonna go bad eventually. And it has to be refrigerated. Unless you have the pens. The pens are different. But again, that's only going to last so long as well. If you have the pens, they gave you a 90-day supply, which is like generally the most that they would give you. What happens when those run out? Again, these are things that people really need to wrap their heads around. They really do, because 70% of North Carolina gas stations are out of gas. Rob Price just said that. That's craziness. That's crazy. I know that Virginia's having issues. I know Washington D.C. is having issues. Obviously North Carolina. Yeah, there's definitely some of the southern states that are having issues. So, but yeah, so like I said, Plan accordingly, prep accordingly. A lot of preppers are older preppers because we've lived our life. We see what's going on. We see the handwriting on the wall, and so we are prepping accordingly. So let's do this really quickly. I'm going to ask for another thumbs up because we're almost at 1,200 people in the chat, and we're at 580 on the thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do that, and I appreciate it for the support, and thank you ahead of time. Again, it also really does help with the algorithms. It pushes us up higher in the rankings with the more interaction that we have on the channel. So that's another reason I asked for the thumbs up, just so you guys know. And I appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, again, the third reason is I do like to see a lot of thumbs up. It's like a little game, and it's just fun. And so I thank you for that reason, too. Again, if you're not subscribed, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon for all notifications as well. All right, so let's do the egg count, okay? You know, does hard candies work temporarily if no insulin? Not really. You get the sugar boost will help, but what if your sugar is dry? Or what if your sugar is spiked? That's not going to work in that case, just so you know. I mean, if it's dropping, it'll help, yes, but, long term, no. All right, guys, I'll give you a chance to get your egg guesses in here. So let me just tell you this. Yesterday, I don't think I told you, we had 7 eggs yesterday, 7 eggs the day before. Today was pretty sunny day. It's pretty nice out there today. So, all right. If you guys have the same exact guess as Marjorie Schultz with 10 eggs, that's what we ended up with today. So we had a nice egg count today. Again, the weather makes all the difference in the world, how well they lay or don't lay. The last 2 days previous today were pretty cold. Today was not exactly super warm, but the sun was out, and that really does make a difference in the mindset of the chicken for whatever reason, and they lay better. So I was not unhappy with 10 eggs. And it was funny because I had 9 regular eggs and then 1 of the pullet eggs. So I know which hen is laying the pullet eggs. It's one of my hens from the flock from last year. And so like a weird misshapen one. It looks like it's got a thing on the end of it, which is really bizarre. So if I think about it, I'll show it in tomorrow's video, that egg, because it's a trip the way it came out. I was like, I looked at that, I took it in and showed Mom and Beck, and they were like, wow, that's bizarre. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's what happens. But anyway, I just want, continue to prep. Don't stop prepping. Do what you have to do. Don't let people try to shame you. Just like somebody had said earlier that somebody tried to shame them for getting more gas. Who cares what they think? You know what I mean? Just because they've done nothing. And see, this is what I think is funny, okay? People will tell you what you should and shouldn't do when they've done absolutely nothing. Or they're gonna try to humiliate you or belittle you or try to make you feel guilty because they've done nothing and you've done something. Don't ever listen to that nonsense. I don't, and I've had people tell me on here in comments, they'll say to me, well, if there's, okay, so, and I was going to go back to canning jars because I catch so much crap about the canning jars all the time. And again, makes no difference to me. I don't, if you want to be noble all day long. I'm not going to be noble. If it's there and if I want it and I have the money to be able to buy it, I'm going to buy it. That's the bottom line. But I have people will say to me, well, if there are 6 cases of canning jars, I'll take like 4 and I'll leave 2 for somebody else. Well, good for you. That's fantastic. You're a wonderful human being. I'm thinking bigger plans for more than just myself and my immediate family. So I'm going to do what I need to do to be prepared for whatever happens. Again, when that time comes, when SHTF happens, I'm not going to be able to go, oh, let's see. I'm going to make this last run to the store, and I'm going to get canning jars, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get that. I'm telling you right now, when SHTF happens, I'm not going anywhere. I will not be going out for one last-minute run to try to get whatever, because that is going to be very, very dangerous at that point. I've talked about this before. I will mention it again just to explain so people really get a grasp on it. The scariest person in the world, the most dangerous person in the world in a post-event is not your Green Beret. It is not your Special Forces guys. It is not your Army Rangers or your SEALs or any of those type of guys, okay? Because guess what? Those guys are ready. They got that mindset. They know what they need to do, and they're going to take care of their business. The people that are going to be the most dangerous people in a post-event are people that are scared and desperate. Desperation and fear is a huge motivating factor, okay? And then let's throw on top of that. So now you're desperate and scared. And now you haven't eaten in 3 days, and your kids haven't eaten in 3 days, and they're looking at you to supply them food, okay? So there's where that desperation comes in. And they're scared because they don't know where that next meal's coming from. Those people are the most dangerous people because they're willing to do whatever they have to do, even if it costs them their lives, to get what they need. So I want you guys to think about that, you know. What will I do for feed? Okay, that's a good question, Pam Sloan, and thank you for asking that. If SHTF happened tomorrow, the first thing that I would be doing is I would be culling a lot of the chickens out of my flock. I would bring it down a tremendous amount, because even though I know I got people coming here, I would get rid of my older chickens right off the bat that I knew were maybe possibly not laying anymore. They would be the first ones to go. All those new chicks that I have that you see that I've added to the flock, I would keep them. Okay. I would go down to probably one rooster. I would not keep 2 roosters at that point because I would not, the feed would not be there. I have a decent amount of feed available, okay, already on hand, so that would get me through for quite a while, depending on the time of year. Like this time of year, we got all the greens and everything growing up. You could feed them that every day instead of all the grain and the cracked corn and all that type of stuff. So you could stretch your stuff out longer. You would want to give them a little bit of feed and a little bit of cracked corn, but you would want to give them their primary diet of, and if you could free range them, that's great. I can't free range chickens up where I live because we have too many predators. So when people say to me, oh, well, you should free range your chickens, it's not going to work. I like my chickens alive, and I want to keep them that way. So that's why, I do it that way. But, you could, then you would plant wheat if you have wheat on hand, which obviously I have wheat on hand. So that would be a crop that you would be harvesting in the fall, and you would have that hopefully available partly for your chickens as well. So there's definitely ways. Back in the old days, guys, or obviously corn would be another thing. You'd plant a lot of corn and have that to harvest as well. So back in the old days, you didn't go to the feed store. There was no feed store to go to. If you would go back to the 1700s and 1800s, if you didn't live in a town and stuff like that, there was no feed store to go to. So you made do with what you had. And so that's what people did. And so, we would do what we had to do, and again, depending on how many people we had here, we might end up keeping the chickens that we have. I don't know, but you would definitely need to manage your flock, ration what was being dealt out to the chickens. But again, you're going to want that, you're going to want that those eggs as well, because that's going to be a big part of your diet. And check out Full Spectrum Survival for how to grow your own mealworms for your chickens. Okay, well, thank you. I definitely will do that. I definitely will do that. Thank you for that information. So, but yeah, like I said, guys, we are, people always ask me, how long do you think we have? How long before something major happens? Well, things are happening constantly. There's always something going on. Again, I have no idea. I really don't. I look at what is going on, and I pay attention to those things. But I don't care who it is. I don't care anybody out there can't make an accurate prediction of it's going to go bad here or it's going to go bad there, because what will happen is that date will come and go, and then people will look at you and go, well, you're an idiot, So always want to encourage everybody. And again, this is an individual choice. Do you want to be a victim or do you not want to be a victim? If you choose not to be a victim, all right, then do something about it. It's up to you. It's 100% up to you. And if you choose to be a victim, don't come crying to me when the time comes and say, oh yeah, well, I watched your channel for all those years and I never did nothing because I figured nothing was ever going to happen. Well, that's on you, because it's like I can't. How many times can I tell you, watch out for your families, take care of yourselves, be ready for whatever's going to happen. Give yourself whatever advantage you possibly can have. You know, yeah, 1 Second After is an absolutely fantastic book. The whole series is really, really good. And it really is an eye opener of how things can be in a post event. Scary, to be honest with you. Very, very scary. Things can change in a heartbeat. Nothing, nothing is guaranteed. That's another thing. And I'm going to tell you what, in a post event, will a lot of preppers die as well? Yes, they will. They will die as well. Cockiness, thinking they know everything, taking stupid chances. Again, if you can, this is what I would encourage anybody that's watching. If you can, in a post event, if you do not have a bug out location, if you don't see like if things are getting bad, really, really bad, and you go, wow, we have our bug out location, should we go or should we not go? That is going to be a big part of if you're able to get to your bug out location or not. But let's say you cannot get to your bug out location right away. You're going to want to try to hunker down and ride it out as long as you possibly can. That would be my advice, because what you're going to see panic, you're going to see desperation, you're going to see no rule of law. So the gloves come off and the animals come out, okay? And that's what you need to think about. And so the longer you can hunker down, try to ride it out, and then maybe slip off after 2 months later, 3 months later, 4 months later, whenever you can. Again, it would depend on what your supplies are too. If you have supplies and you got enough supplies that you got like 60, like an example, you got 60 days of supplies in your home for you and your immediate family. Okay. So now you go, okay, we got these supplies. Do we have a bug out location? If you don't have a bug out location, what are you trying to do to prolong it so that you can stay longer where you're at? Those are things that you need to take into consideration as well. There's so much that goes to it. It's unbelievable. And you better have that plan in place or have that thought in your head ahead of time, because again, when things happen, it's going to happen really, really fast. And there's not going to be time to say, well, what should I do now? You need to have that plan in place. You need to have that plan of, if you are bugging out, if you are going to bug out, if you have a bug out location and you have family and friend members, meeting someplace, even your immediate family, because everybody's not going to always be home at the same time. So maybe you say to your kids, okay, something goes down, and if things go bad, you need to get to XYZ location, and that's our rendezvous point. So so maybe mom and dad are home, the kids are here, there, or the other place. They see, oh my God, SHTF has happened. We get to rendezvous point A, and then we can move on. Or you get to rendezvous point A and maybe everybody doesn't get there. How long do you wait? And that better be part of your plan too. Do you wait 12 hours for people to get there? Do you wait 6 hours, or do you wait a day? Again, if it's a safe location and you can stay there, then do it. But you better have that plan. You better have that in place. I've talked about this, and and I'm going to tell you what, having this decision made ahead of time absolutely sucks. For me, it does personally. My daughter is in college down, in Rochester, okay, outskirts of Rochester, but she's in that general area. And I have told her, if there is an SHTF event, I will not be coming for you. I won't be. I said, you need to get home. That sucks. For me, that sucks. I hate it. I can't stand it. It really bothers me. But again, if I run off half-cocked trying to go rescue my daughter, and my daughter thinks, well, hey, dad ain't coming anyway, so I got to get there, and we end up crossing paths at some point and don't even know it, because that's a possibility too. I could be down there looking for her down there, and she's already back home. So she knows that what she needs to do is she needs to get home. I don't care how she does it. I don't care who she brings with her. I don't care who helps her to get there. They're all going to have a place. And that has to be the game plan. It is tough. It is hard. You have to make hard decisions. And that is something that a lot of people can't do. And I'm going to tell you what, my son is living in the city. He's in the city. Okay. Uh, I don't like it, obviously, but you know what? There's nothing I can do about it. I have talked with my ex-wife, and I have talked with, their grandfather, and I have told them, I said, listen, if something goes down, get to me, and I will have a place here for you. And that's how I feel about it. You know, people have asked, would you take your ex back in if something goes down? Absolutely, because she is the mother of my children. Now, would she be at my right hand side? Absolutely. Or that's my left, but should she be at my right hand side? No, of course not. She would be here, but you know what? I would be so grateful that she brought my children or my son or however the case may be back to me, that I would help her out. Again, have plans. You know the people that are coming to you. Have that plan in place, and you have to make decisions too, because other people that you don't expect to show up are going to show up with their hat in their hand, and they're going to want help. So those are things to think about as well. There's so much that goes into it, guys. It could be maddening, but you have to, the very first thing that you need to be thinking about, the very first thing beyond anything else, is being prepared for at least 2 weeks. That's number one. If you have a bug out location, then you make your plans on what you're going to do and how you're going to get there, and when is the time to make that move to go there. All those things got to be in place as well. Okay. Then you got to look at, again, who are you going to help? Those are all things that, all those things got to come into place. All of them have to come into place. So you just better have a plan and be ready. Have your initial plan, have your backup plans, have backup plans to your backup plans. But the initial thing is being able to be as ready as you possibly can be. That, here, an example, okay? A nuclear bomb goes off in different locations, and we got a lot of radiation out there. You shouldn't be out on the road traveling for a while anyway, no matter what. So you better be prepared to hunker down in place for a good long time. Then eventually go out and do what you got to do. But you're going to have a lot of people that are going to go out there because they don't know any better. They don't understand. They never studied it. They don't know. And they're going to be exposed to radiation and everything else. It's going to happen. It is absolutely going to happen. So again, plan accordingly, prepare, continue to get ready. Don't listen to anybody telling you that you're selfish or you're greedy or you're a hoarder. Who cares? Who cares what they think? Because guess what? When that time comes, that person that's maybe telling you that you know personally, they're going to come to you and expect you to take care of them. And now you're going to have to make a decision at that point. Am I going to help this person who was hypercritical or not? And maybe it's a family member. Maybe you don't like them very much. And if you don't like them very much, why would you help them? So again, those are things that always go into it as well. Elliot said, I'll take my ex-wife, her husband, and her new husband's kids. Yeah, you know what? It's just, to me, whatever happened between my ex happened between me and my ex, okay? But she will always be the mother of my children. That's the end of the day. That's a fact, okay? So how could I turn her away and say, yeah, I'll take my kids in and keep my kids and screw their mother, Can't do it. That's just me personally. You guys can do whatever you want to do. And I know some people are in circumstances where they wouldn't be able to do that. I'll tell you right now, I know for a fact, would my ex-wife take me in an emergency situation? And the answer is no, she wouldn't. But you know what? You'd be the bigger man. That's just the way it is. And that's just how I roll. So that's just me. So real quick again, we're at 11:40 in the chat. We're at 7:34 on a thumbs up. I'm going to ask for another thumbs up really quickly, and then we're going to do some shout outs real quick, and then we're going to do We Are Legion shortly after that. Okay, but if you have not shot a thumbs up yet for the channel to show support, I would appreciate it if you would do that. And thank you very much for doing that, and I do appreciate that ahead of time. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel. Thumbs up or thumbs down, which obviously we prefer thumbs up. So I thank you for doing it for that reason as well. The third reason is to I like to see a lot of thumbs up, being honest. So also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you for doing that too. So anyway, I want to do some shout outs really quickly. There's a lot of channels that I think that, well, there's a lot of channels out there that people are watching, and I think that we need to diversify ourselves and look at different information because people see things differently. They look at it from a different perspective, and I think it's healthy. I think that's a really good thing to do. So obviously, my boy up in Canada, Ickycan, ICKYCAN, and JJ, if you would throw his link for his channel up there, definitely show him some support. Love his channel. He's a really nice guy. Small channel, you know, but he's been doing it for a while. He lives off grid as well. Another one would be Sean James with My Self-Reliance up in Canada. Definitely show him some support too. Tell him Prepper Nurse 1 sent you. He probably has no idea who I am. I've never talked to him, but I love what he's doing up there, and I think he's got a great channel. Another one would be Wranglestar, is another really, really good channel. I've never talked to him either, but again, I think it's a really good channel. Doug and Stacy, I have talked with Doug before. They're good people. Another good channel to follow. You know, Angry Prepper down in New York City, Magic Prepper out in North Dakota, Prepper Nation, Green Greg's is another one that comes to mind. Southern Prepper 1 is another one. I've never spoken with him either, but another good channel. A lot of good information, and you know, so there's so many good channels out there. You know, my boy Bizza and you know, he's doing okay. He's just taking a break right now, but definitely go run over there, show him some support as well. He's got a couple good series there. There's one series that he did before, and his one series that he's working on now. Good listen. Definitely information that makes you think, which is what we want. That's probably the biggest thing for me personally. I want people to think. If you think, and if you're questioning things, that's what it's all about. You know, and I think that that's really, really important. But Pinball Preparedness, yep, there's another one that's really good. Green Greg's, I didn't say him earlier either. You know, Alaskan Granny. There is, oh my God, I'm trying to think who else. There's so many guys. Oppenheimer Ranch Project with Diamond is another really great one. And hey, Asif, how are you tonight? I am back. All right, good to see you back. I talk with Asif, guys, just so you know, all the time. We text all the time back and forth with each other. And I noticed that he hadn't been around, but he's been very, very busy with work. And so, but good guy down there in South Carolina. And, Ice Age Farmer, yep, somebody just put that up there. There's another good channel. But Canadian Prepper, yep, there's another one. So there's so many guys, so many out there. I definitely encourage you to diversify yourselves, look at different information, and it makes it better. Oh my God. Gray is another channel there. Definitely go check him out as well. I was on his show, and he really, really good information there as well. So there's a lot of places that you can go find information, diversify what you're looking at. If you listen to just one person all the time, I really don't think that's a good thing. Looking at different viewpoints. Oh, of course, I didn't even mention my boy out there in Seattle, Washington, right? Marfugal News, another good channel. Definitely, I already said Alaska Prepper. I already said that one. Yeah, so, but yeah, Marfugal's awesome too. Good guy. A lot of health issues. He's been in and out of the hospital a lot. Diverticulitis. So not fun at all to deal with that. I got one of the dogs is dreaming. I guess my voice is so soothing that it put the dog to sleep. But anyway, a lot of good channels out there, a lot of good information, and you know, definitely continue to prep. You know, look at different things, continue to get ready. I can't say it enough. And don't ever let anybody shame you. Don't ever let that happen, because that's ridiculous. So that, yeah, there is, yeah. So just, keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. All right. So anyway, let us do We Are Legion. We are Legion because we are many. We're all over the world, all over this country. We're a huge network of people, a huge family. Where is everybody from tonight? So let's do that real, because I want to make sure we get all these things done, because I don't like to forget. So where's everybody from? Melbourne, Australia, Ontario, Canada, St. Columbine, Quebec, Colorado, Afton, New York. We have North Carolina, South Texas, Colorado, Pittsburgh, PA, Southwest Ontario, Canada, Hudson, Florida, Tennessee, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, London. We have, let's see, Ulster Park, New York, Western New York, Detroit, Southwest Ohio, Raleigh in North Carolina, Dayton, Ohio, Endicott, New York, Central Missouri, Vancouver in Canada, Caribou, Maine, the UK. Let's see, Michigan, Alabama, Washington State, Southern Maryland. We have Raleigh, North Carolina, Orlando, Florida, Tennessee, West Virginia, Iowa. We have Indiana, New Mexico, Wyoming, British Columbia, Wisconsin, Florida, Nova Scotia, New Jersey, Littleton, New Hampshire, Northern Virginia, Los Angeles, California, North Jersey, Beech Grove, Indiana, New Mexico, Michigan, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Awesome. Love it down there. Los Angeles, California. Let's see. We have Texas. Sweltering Sacramento in California. All right. Lakewood, Washington. Reno, Nevada. Gatlin, Pennsylvania. Hollywood, California. Central Wisconsin. Germantown, Maryland. Ozark Lake in Missouri. Very nice. Northern California. North Dakota. Indiana. Wesley Chapel, Florida. Lakewood, Washington. We have Massachusetts, and I probably said it wrong and don't care. Albany, Georgia. Mississippi and the Gulf Coast. Hudson Valley, New York. El Paso, Texas. Arkansas. Southwest Virginia. Cape Cod. Western Kentucky. Florida. Southeast Ohio. Fort Worth, Texas. All over, guys. We're everywhere. It's crazy. East Iowa. Houston, Texas. British Columbia. South Florida. So again, all over the country, all over the world. We're a huge network of people. And Northeast Colorado just popped up there. Franklin County, Ohio. So Ottawa, Canada. Very nice. Troy, Vermont. Southern Illinois. We have New Mexico. So again, we're all over the place, guys. All over the country, all over the world. We're a huge network of people. We're a huge family is what we are. And we're the ones that are awake. We're the ones that are ready. And I think it makes a big difference, of what we can accomplish and what we cannot do. We have New Orleans in Louisiana. Very nice. Never been down there. I definitely want to go at some point. I definitely want to go down there. So the UP up in Michigan. Very nice. So, but yeah, it's just, we're the ones that are awake. And I believe, and I've said this before, but I'm going to always repeat myself. I think that we're awake for a reason. I really, truly do. And the more that we can do to prepare to help ourselves, to help other people in that post-event, I think it's going to be better for everybody overall. I really do. And so, just continue to get ready. That the biggest advice that I could tell anybody is just prep. And if you're brand new, don't be overwhelmed. Don't get overwhelmed. Do what you can. Again, the very first step, if you've done nothing else, if you've never prepped before, you're brand new to it. Where do I start? What do I do? 2 weeks worth of food and water. Work on that first. Once you get 2 weeks worth of food and water, then you start to continue to add to your food and water, but then you can look at getting other things as well. Medical supplies, extra blankets, candles, ways to, purify water, fire starters, all those type of things. There's, like I say, the list is endless. It is endless. So, how am I doing with the underground network? Not good, Bryce. Not. I'll be 100% honest with you. Haven't touched it in a while. I've been very, very busy with other things, and I'm not making any kind of excuses. I'm not. I will get back on that. I still have a ton of people to contact that I haven't contacted yet. So again, that's 100% on me. I'm not putting the blame on anybody else. I just been very, very busy trying to get things squared away here and work on those type of things. And I just haven't really honestly had the time. I haven't had the time. And again, I'm not trying to make excuses, but I just been really busy. I will get back on that. I will be talking with more people about that. And I have all the information of the people that I have already called. I do have that information categorized and it's ready to go. But I definitely will be contacting the other people as well. So I do apologize for my lack of not being on top of that. Realistically, what I should do, honestly, and it wouldn't take that much of my time, is call 10 people a day. I should do that. Yeah, I need a secretary. Well, again, Ruth, you know what? My niece, when she moves up here full time, her and I have talked. And she is definitely going to be helping me out in that aspect of things. And I could keep her very, very busy. I'll be honest with you. And it would just free me up to take care of other things. There's always going to be. So here's the weird part, guys. Okay. There's always the next project. Today, here at the homestead, we planted the blueberry bushes. We put the raspberry bushes in. We planted the grapes. We put a new fencing up for the grapes as well. Those things take time. And, with doing that, and then, then it's the normal things that we have to do. So, every day we're watering. We have to water now. We got the gardens going. So every day, unless it's raining outside, but you still have to water in the greenhouse, even if it's raining outside. I take care of the animals, take care of, the chickens, the animals, the dogs and the chickens and the cats. And, those things, again, it may not seem like a lot, but they're every day you get up, there's that routine that you have to follow and things that you have to take care of because they rely on you. They rely on you. So, but, it's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. But so, like I said, again, I'm not making any excuses, but, let's see. I live in Southwest Ontario, a giant. Oh, you know what? Yeah, and you guys up in Canada right now, you guys are still under shutdown, and that is insane to me. Again, and the sad part about that, and I want you to think about this as far as an orchestration of things going on. So where can you buy things from, right? If you think about it, you're limited to where you're able to buy things. So you can go in and you can go shop at Amazon, right? You can shop at, like Walmart. You're able to shop online that way. All these other big retailers, and they can deliver things to you, but it limits you. So who are you not shopping at? You're not shopping at the mom and pop places. They're not getting any of that business. And that's sad. That's really sad, to be honest with you. But unfortunately, it is what it is. All right, guys. So right now we're at 850. Just for fun, let's see if we can get that up to 900 before we sign off here. Okay. So again, if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. I just want to see if we can get that last 50 and get us up over 900. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Again, it really does help with the algorithms. Again, so more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. And I thank you for that reason as well. Third reason, of course, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So that's part of the game. So I ask you to do it for that reason as well. And thank you. Again, if you're not subscribed, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications. I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean, that are here stream after stream. So ladies and gentlemen that do that for me, I appreciate you. You know that. I say it every time, but I don't want you to think that I take you for granted, because I absolutely don't. I can't monitor the chat like that when I have 1,200 people in the chat. So they have to stay on top of it and, you know, get the people that want to come in here and disrupt things and cause trouble. So they do it, and they do a great job. So thank you. I want to thank all of you for being here. You're a big part of why I'm here. Without you being here, I wouldn't be on. So I appreciate that as well. You know, it's important that we just continue to work together, and that's what we really need to do. Okay. Um, also, remember when I say this, and I don't mean it just because it's something to say, we truly are all in this together. And I think people really do need to take that to heart, that we are one race called the human race. And when the time comes and SHTF happens and you need help, you're not going to care what color the person is. You're not going to care what religion the person is. You're not going to care what their political affiliation is with the person that is offering you help. You're going to be grateful for that help. And I want people to really take that to heart and think about how we treat each other now and put that into that perspective. So, you know, let's do that, okay? Also remember, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important, and we tell the people that we love and that we care about every single day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that will stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else can stop you. You know, stay away from negative people that want to bring you down and tell you what you cannot accomplish, what you cannot do. I am a great example of that. I'm not patting myself on the back in any way, shape, or form, but I could not tell you how many people told me I could not do what I did. And my reply was always the same: watch me. Okay? Because if you have that determination and you have that drive, nobody can stop you. So follow your heart, follow your dreams. It doesn't have to be about prepping, it doesn't have to be about living off grid. It's whatever you're trying to accomplish, make it happen. Okay? You know, and that's it. That's it. So stay focused, stay happy. And that's another thing, too. Choose to be happy. Life is short. Enjoy your lives. Take that time out. Prepping is very, very important, but taking time out to smell the roses and enjoy life is also important. So let's continue to do that as well. So anyway, guys, have a great night. I am getting psyched for my trip to go down to West Virginia, and that's going to be happening obviously very, very soon. I'm leaving in 10 days. So in 10 days, Heather and I will be heading out to West Virginia, and I am pretty excited about it. So things are getting squared away here. I talked to my wood guy today. I'll tell you this real quick. Spoke with him today. He said that, well, he goes, I'm like 2 weeks out. And I said, well, I'm going to be gone. And he said, well, we'll get you after June 1st. And I said, perfect. So I'm going to have wood delivering for stocking up my wood shed that much more in June. So that's okay. As long as it's done before the end of June, I'll be happy. We'll have it squared away and ready to go. So anyway, guys, I will see you all later. Have a great night. Thank you for being here. And we blew past 900. We're at 918 thumbs up. So that's awesome. So very, very cool. Have a great night. And I will see you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.